Alright everyone, so welcome to part 2 of how to make quick sway bar link disconnects or quick releases or whatever you want to call it, or even extensions. You can even just use these to extend your sway bar links, and it's, I mean, as you've seen from the previous video, to make these weren't too hard. Just need a few tools, drill, a tap, and just some basic hardware that's listed in the first. If you guys want, I can put in the description of this video everything I used to make this. And of course, if you don't want to extend them, you can also just use one of these, drill and tap a hole at either end of it, and you don't have to bother using the stud that I used in the middle of these to connect it. If you do want to make them longer, then actually you just, add another section, another stud, another section, and even longer, another stud, another section, and just drill a hole at either end. So what we're going to be doing now is cutting these two guys in half, and then I'm going to put one end on one end on the other, and that's pretty much it. So let's get to it then. Okay, so I've got this snugged up in the vise, not over tight, but just enough that it won't move unless I put a lot of force onto it. And all I'm going to do is cut this guy in half, just with a little metal handsaw here. And you could use whatever you want, just, I mean, if you don't have a lot of material to play with like I don't here, try to take off as much material or as least material as possible when you're cutting this in half. I only have two hands and I'm going to need one to cut, so I'll see you guys when this guy's cut in half. Alright, so one thing you're going to want to do is I already went and measured the length of the total length of this. I'm going to try and get it right in half. This way when you go and insert it, it bottoms out and you don't end up with mismatched holes that you always have to try and make sure that you're putting the same quick disconnect on the same side. For me in this case, I'm looking at 17.5 millimeters. I'm just going to measure from there, give that a quick little mark so I know where to cut. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this started nice and slow. And make sure that I'm on point. Alright, there we have it. Alright, so here we have it, our nice two-piece sway bar link. And we're almost there. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just sand off the just any burrs and any little sharp edges that might be on this. And I'm going to need two hands, so we'll be right back as soon as I'm done sanding this guy off. Okay, so sanded off all the edges so it fits in nice and smooth, and as you can see, it's starting to take shape, so you're kind of getting an idea of what it's going to look like. So I've had to back off the set screw all the way out. It fits in nice and snug if you pick the right drill bit size. So go ahead and remember to measure the diameter of, as I said in the previous video, measure the diameter of this little part of the link, the shaft, whatever you want to call that, before you go ahead and pick a size for the coupling nut, as well as then the drill bit. So the coupling nut you're going to pick is as close to you get. I mean, obviously go on the smaller side so you can drill that out. You don't want to go bigger. Just going to put a little bit of a notch so that when I put the screw in, it has something to butt into and it doesn't slip out. It's going to make a little bit more of a secure connection, but yeah, there's absolutely zero play in here, nothing at all. It's nice and tight. I'm going to be really happy with these. So I'll be right back. All right, so now what I've gone and done is just inserted this back in here, and what I'm going to do is just use the hole for the set screw to actually just guide me to put a little hole inside the sway bar link itself, and that's where the set screw is going to sit. Now the only thing you're going to want to make sure is you pay attention to the orientation of the two little joints on the sway bar link, the two little ends, which way they're facing. If they're both facing one way, you want to make sure that the set screw is going to face in a direction that you're going to have access to, as well as that these guys are facing in the same direction. Once you have the hole for the set screw made, they're going to be facing the same direction that they were facing when it was together. And for example, in mine, one's facing that way, the other one's going to face that way. In some of them, some sway bar links, they're both going to be facing the same way. So I'm just going to go ahead and drill this one out, and I'll show you guys the finished product here in a minute. There we go. So a little hole there for the set screw. Doesn't have to be incredibly deep, just enough for the set screw to dig in. So we're gonna go take a look at that in a minute. Okay, so here we have it. There we go. Now I don't know if you noticed or not, but I originally had the holes down here. Unfortunately, these two ends aren't long enough to be able to, they reach down here, but unfortunately there wasn't enough material to drill a hole, at least nothing that I was comfortable with. I was worried that the edge would break off and these might slip out. So I flipped it over and re-drilled the holes a lot further up, at least for my front ones. My rear ones I'm not too worried about because those are quite long, it'll still extend them, but the front ones was a little bit of an issue. So I went ahead and re-drilled and re-tapped a set of holes here. Didn't bother filming that because I've already shown you guys what you need to do in the previous video here. So I'm just gonna put the set screw in here, just a couple of threads, just enough to have it sit in there, but I just got to be careful not to have it poke into the bore. And then one more set screw here. There we go. Come on. Not the easiest thing to do with these gloves on. Missing a fair bit of dexterity. Alright. And now this guy's gonna go in there. And just make sure that that's sitting in there. Yep, it is. Gonna snug this up. It doesn't need a lot of torque, just a little bit, just finger tight. And there's one. There's the other one. I'm just gonna make sure that that's sitting inside. Yep. All right. All right. Here we go. Oh. Like I said, doesn't need a lot of torque. Yeah, a little too overzealous there. Okay, there we go. That's that. There we have it. No play whatsoever. It's nice and solid. And yeah, we have a sway bar link. Alright folks, well that's it. That's all. As you can see, it's the same as the other one, just a fair bit longer and with a quick disconnect. Well, hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that is useful to you guys. Give it a shot, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You can see here, mounted, one on that side, and one on this side. And as you can see, there's no axles in here right now. Had to pull the axles, gonna rebuild those, and they're gonna go in, so that's gonna be another video. And there's also no drive shaft back there, you'll notice, but yeah, that's also gonna get gonna rebuild that and have that in here. So I'll have just some quick videos on how to remove the axles and drive shaft. Also how to remove your drive shaft without having to take all your exhaust off. Anyway, so I'm just gonna try these out right now. First time trying them out, and let's see how well these guys work. Oh, don't want to lose that. Stick that over there, and now ideally you won't have to take the set screw all the way out. I'm just taking it out just to make sure if it does bind, it's not the set screw holding it back. Go and disconnect the other side. Now, this is obviously very easy because the car's off the ground. When the car's on the ground, you're obviously going to have to crawl under. Actually, you don't even have to crawl underneath it. You could just turn the wheel to one side, take this out, turn the wheel to the other side, take the other one out, and you're set. This is going to be interesting with one hand. There we go. Easy as that. Obviously you're going to have this in the way. Probably rotate this. Oh, the other one, the other side's still in. Let's go take the other side out. There we go. So, and then when you want to put it back on, turn that this way. Of course, you're going to have to do this on level ground, otherwise there's going to be tension on your sway bar. Line that hole up. Of course, you're going to have to do both ends at once. So I'll have that one in there. And line that one up. Sorry guys, I'm gonna do this with one hand. I don't know why I keep forgetting to bring my there you go. Getting the glove stuck. So I'm doing this with one hand. And of course, because oh, there we go. That's why it's not gonna bend if it's not straight. And as you can see, that lines up there. That may or may not be lined up there, but again, trying to do this with one hand. Yeah, so that's lined up, that's lined up. So you would screw one side in, and then there you go. This side's in, and this side's in. Put your set screws in, and that's it. That's all. That's probably the best idea I can come up with for quick release sway bar links, or quick disconnect sway bar links, or extended sway bar links, without having to have the whole rattling issue that I've seen with some other methods, and they come out nice and quick. You don't actually even have to get underneath the car, just turn the wheels. The rears, however, probably going to have to get under the car for that one. Subarus don't come in quick with 4-wheel steer. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.